everybody, Lisa Menini. You know, winning has been defined in several ways. Dictionary.com defines it as the first to finish in a race or even to gain victory. However, each of these definitions, it infers that someone's going to lose. Well, if you apply that same win-lose mindset to the sales process, you'll end up trying to push or even persuade your prospect. And the push sales creates a situation where your customer develops later on buyer's remorse, returns the product, or you end up spending a whole lot of more time with them trying to satisfy them. The key really is to create win-win relationships. And as the supplier of a service or a product, you want happy customers. Why? Because happy customers tell other people about your products or services and also are repeat customers. To create win-win relationships, it's important to understand how you and others communicate. At the heart of communication is how you are naturally wired. Your natural wiring has been with you since birth and emerges at 1.5 to 2 years old, and it stays with you your entire lifetime. Unfortunately, most business professionals do nothing to understand it at a level where it changes their results. Yet, the beauty of understanding your innate wiring is that it's your nature, how you are naturally wired, while your behavior is more about nurture, all the things that have impacted you, like your environment, your education, your life experiences, even your responsibilities. When you understand your natural wiring and notice that wiring in others, you'll create winning relationships. Relationship building often depends on getting off on the right foot, right? And one way to connect with others is being able to quickly recognize how others process thought. And when you know this, it will increase your ability to communicate successfully with others, creating a win-win scenario. Everybody talks and everybody thinks, but there's a part of your wiring that will tell you how you crystallize or process thought. Now, this is critical in every aspect of your business, whether it's sales, your client relationships, and even your employee relationship. For immediate value, I'm going to focus on the internal and the external thinker factors of a hard wiring. Now, if you're an external thinker, you crystallize your ideas by verbalizing them. Have you noticed when talking to someone that you did all the talking and the other person hasn't said a word, but that you still got great ideas? Well, that's because you crystallize your ideas as you talk about them aloud. Conversely, there's the internal thinkers. Now, if you're an internal thinker, then you crystallize your ideas as you internalize them or as you think about them. So you often leave a meeting, and shortly after the meeting is over, ideas start popping in your head. And you often say, gee, why didn't I think about that or say that in the meeting? So how do you make your natural wiring work for you? Well, here's a quick tip for the external thinkers. Now, if you're an external thinker, I'm sure there have been times when you're talking to an internal thinker. So how do you know you're talking to an internal thinker? Well, it's really simple. Just notice. Notice when after you make a statement and you see what I call the blank processing stare. Somebody's just kind of looking at you with this blank stare on their face. Your natural tendency as an external thinker is to say something to fill in that dead air. Well, instead, stay silent. Stay silent. I know it's not going to be easy. If you need to say anything, then what I recommend is, hey, do you need a second to think about it? Very simple. This gives an internal thinker time to process internally what you've just said aloud. Now, if you don't give them that processing time, it will create some disconnects in your conversations. If you're an internal thinker, here's a quick tip when communicating with an external thinker. Notice when communicating with somebody and they start to repeat themselves. Well, if that's so, you're likely talking to an external thinker. So it's important to give them a verbal response. You might say, mind if I think about that for a second? External thinkers are wired to need a verbal response, while the internal thinkers don't give a response until their internal process is complete. Can you see how just this one feature of your natural hardwiring can impact your sales, your client relationships, even your employee relationships. Well, in the next session, I'm going to cover other aspects of your natural wiring so you come out a winner in everything, in life and in business. If you're inspired to take a deeper dive and learn more about your natural hardwiring, then join me for my Wired to Win program series coming up in June. Information and a link is below. See you there, and until next week, create a great life. Bye now.